inspired system. It allows you, it's written open source, it's written in C# as well. It's part of the BTCPay server organization, and it integrates with BTCPay seamlessly. So what does it do? It lets you basically create workflows for BTCPay. So for example, incoming payments in your store can be forwarded or split up or do all sorts of crazy magic. Basically it is automating your Bitcoin. So some use cases. Fiat settlement. So how do you do fiat settlement with this new plugin? There's a few ways to actually do it. Basically, one way is to all the Bitcoin coming into your HD wallet can be forwarded to an exchange, and then you do a market sell. That's basically just dumping as soon as you're receiving it. As soon as you receive it. One other way is to have a balance on your local exchange or your preferred centralized exchange, and as soon as a payment gets marked as confirmed on BTCPay, you will just market sell the amount you have over there. So that you avoid the volatility. You can actually combine those two use cases basically by saying I'll market sell them as soon as the funds are confirmed for the merchant, and then I'll also forward the funds that come in back to the exchange. And as I mentioned before as well, you can also do store transaction fees if you're a third-party host that wants to charge its customers a bit of money for the service of being offered. You would have to configure their store to use a specific XPub, and then the XPub does the forwarding for you. Basically, it becomes a hot wallet on BTC transmuter, and it splits the funds up, and it sends part of it to the store, to the BTCPay owner, and the other one to the merchant himself. You can also use it so that you can forward funds on Lightning. We have full Lightning support on this, by the way, as well. So basically, right now we have a hot wallet with BTCPay. Every time you start BTCPay, your Lightning funds and server is actually on the server, and if it gets hacked, you might actually get wrecked. With this, you can forward all the incoming Lightning payments in BTCPay to your own more safe Lightning node at home, without having to do some crazy routing magic for the node to be integrated into your BTCPay instance. And another thing we did is, for example, for the ticket system that we use for this event, we used a transmuter to send automated emails with a QR code in case we wanted to verify your tickets, although we didn't really verify your tickets. How? It's crazy, basically. It consists of two main things, services and recipes. Services are basically what you want to combine together and integrate. So you've got exchange, let's say you're using Kraken, that will be an exchange that you integrate into your transmuter account, and it becomes a service. Your BTCPay store becomes a service as well. Your email client, for example, like sending an email SMTP server, becomes a service as well. Your Lightning node becomes a service. And recipes. Recipes grab these services, and it allows you to kind of do triggers and actions. Triggers are what you need to activate a recipe, which could be, for example, you receive an email with the subject tickets or something, or your invoice gets confirmed and it has a title with ticket or something like that. And actions are basically what gets executed for that recipe. So you can create a big queue of actions that happen depending on a trigger. So you can say basically, if you wanted to forward funds to a bunch of people after you receive it on BTCPay, you say on this BTCPay store, when an invoice gets confirmed, do a bunch of these actions, and they will run in order basically. So you can do like validation checks, you can do some math in them as well. So let's say I want to generate an HD wallet address on my cold storage account, and I want to generate a new address for my I don't know, my exchange that I have integrated, and I want to generate an address for some other hardware wallet I have somewhere else. And then you can also say, you grab all those addresses and you send like 20%, 30%, and another 40%, whatever. You can do these all in sequence, and they will be executed depending on an evaluation rule set in sequence. Another thing, it sounds a bit too complicated. So I want to also add a feature called presets. It's a way to create all these recipes and services with simple one configuration screens. So for example, let's say you want to do a payment forwarder. It will basically say, okay, you want to create a wallet for this, where do you want to send them, and how much do you want to split it every time it happens. That's one way to do it, and then you will also have, for example, so that's one preset. Then we can also have a preset instant fiat settlement on your BTCPay website. It'll ask you, how do you want to do the settlement? Do you want to send the money there, or do you just want to trigger a market sell straight away? It'll just be one page configuration things that set up everything for you with one easy screen. And extendable. We need to make it extendable as well. So the whole system is designed to be able to eventually handle like a plugin architecture. It's going to be C#, so you can't really do what the BTCPay Greenfield API is saying. But it'll be an easier way to scale the system without having a bunch of bloated core code. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
So when Pav does videos about that?
Well, actually, we kind of made animations because it's easier to understand that with animations. So
yeah, we have some animations already.
When I hear your voice in video.
Yeah, okay, I will do the voiceover. Don't worry about
Make the chips with audio.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be ready?
2 weeks.
It's in alpha mode right now, in alpha state. Some people use it as it is right now, but I need to polish it up and make it a bit nicer and not scare people away. But there's a lot of, most of the feature sets are actually there. I just need to make sure they're unit test covered and actually function as they should.
How do you handle failures, for example, when you send an order to an exchange to sell at market price and it fails for whatever reason, and then the price changes before you retry?
I don't retry. It's a one-time fire thing. If it fails, it fails because, for example,
for lightning forwarding, it's once, and if there is no route or it fails for some reason.
Yeah. You have to, obviously the routes have to be configured correctly and things like that. They assume that everything is functioning as they should. One other thing with Lightning actually is that you can even use it to automatically forward open channels with people. So you can say, when I receive this webhook on my system, open a channel with this person or something like that. Or you can use it basically to create all these services that are doing like automatic channel opening with you. You can pretty much do it with just BTCPay and transmuter set up in the background. Yep.
I think it's interesting that instead of connecting to an exchange that requires you to KYC, you could offer support for BitMEX or Derivate, and you could just conserve the dollar value without needing to KYC.
Yeah.
Like I just bought a T-shirt for you for 0.1 BTC, and then I could just short that on BitMEX. So now the dollar amount it's conserved, and I don't need to give any IDs to anyone.
It could just be another service, honestly. So the way it's been, yeah.
What are the initial recipes that you're planning on?
Recipes. So recipes are generic, but in terms of triggers and actions, the list is at like 50 or 60 at this point.
In 2 weeks?
There's quite a lot of things. You've got sending emails, receiving emails, checking them. You've got some Lightning channel opening, Lightning payments happening, wallet creation, address generation. I don't know. I keep forgetting the list. It's too
And I think you said it, the recipes are in C#, right?
The recipe, it's not a scripting language, but there is a templating in the system. So it's Yeah, C-sharpish. So that, for example, when you send an email and you want to use like the invoice ID in the email, you can do like, you can just write some C-sharp code to actually get it to display.
Okay. Thanks.
Are you planning short term to integrate holder and disk, for example?
I want to, but I'm not sure how that would work. I'm not sure how to. How to use it.
Open sourcing the API for Revolut, so that might help.
Yeah, I mean, they have an API, but it's still not an automatic process to make market sales because it's interacting with other people.
Yeah,
So if you have some ideas on how to get that sorted out, I would love to integrate BISC and HODL and things like that, and peer-to-peer ways of doing it.
Yeah, I was thinking if you didn't tear it down already, maybe you can just show how you configure the ticket selling.
No, it's online.
Yeah, it's your laptop. I need to log in. I can do it during the workshop. I can show in a few instances of
Yeah,
it.
let's do it in the workshop.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider publishing something like this on Zapier?
On what?
Zapier?
Is that the?
Yeah, that's one of the if this then that.
Yeah, it's a similar one, right? I don't know. I guess if Zapier allows it, it should be okay. But you basically host your own instance of Transmuter, so Zapier would have to be able to handle that. But I don't see an issue with it, so I guess so. Yeah. Okay. Oh.
Do you think it's possible, like automatizing payment issues? I'm not talking about coding issues, like someone made a mistake when he was paying, and then like that generating automatically a ticket into a support platform?
Sure, yeah, you can do it. Basically, you can do it so that, for example, if this invoice on a BTCPay store is marked as invalid, send a web request to this, I don't know, so support.com/this guy sucks.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So that was it as far as presentations were concerned. I hope you guys enjoyed them. I want to thank all the speakers and all those special guests they came, also Ketaminer and Adam especially. So I hope you enjoyed it. Now we'll organize some small chit chats, workshops, so that we can just chat and have fun. For the stream, I would just like again to thank CryptoCash for the amazing hospitality here and for you can check their merch wallets if you need anything or buy yourself Bitcoin. You can also probably do that right now. I'm not sure if they're still working. You can do that? Yeah? Yeah. Awesome. And once again, thanks for HODL for helping us hosting this event and for Crypto Media for recording it. So thanks again, and let's now chat and figure some interesting things out. So that's it.
Maybe we'll get it. I can use it.